Howdy, cruisers. Let's talk about water aboard the cruise ship. All right, number one, I want to make this very, very clear. All the water that comes out of any publicly facing tap is perfectly safe to drink. You actually do not need to buy or bring bottled water, especially bottled still water. Except for a couple of edge cases, if you do need distilled water for a medical device, that's fine. But for the most part, there is no point in bringing bottled water aboard a cruise ship or buying a bottled water package aboard a cruise ship. The water that is made on board is perfectly safe to drink. So if it comes out of the sink in your stateroom, the sink at the bar, the sink in the kitchen, the ice machine, your shower, it is all perfectly safe to drink. Although, I do think I should mention that the water in the pools and hot tubs are not safe to drink. No, it sounds crazy I have to say that, but 83 million votes. Anyway, all right, so where does the cruise ship get its water? 3 primary sources of the water, the potable water on the cruise ship. That is either reverse osmosis, steam rehydration, steam condensation, using excess heat from the power generation equipment, or in some cases, the cruise ship can bunker water if there is a very reliable shoreside source. So, no, they don't just fill it up at any random little island or any random little port. They would pick it up from reliable municipal sources like here in Miami or other places like that. So, any water that comes out of the taps on the cruise ship is perfectly safe to drink, right? So, just keep that in mind. However, I will admit, I do get bottled water if I have a drink package. Remember, I made a video a while ago, if you have the package, if you have the benefit, you might as well use it. The 1.5 liter bottle that Carnival leaves in your stateroom, if you're, I guess, was it gold or higher now in Carnival rewards? Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and drink it. Perfectly fine. But you don't need to. It does not need to be that complicated. If you need to carry water around with you, go ahead and bring a refillable container. I saw Stanley Cups. Stanley Cups have made it to the cruise lines. On my recent Carnival Liberty sailing, yes, every female had a Stanley Cup. I mean that very, very much. I don't have a Stanley Cup. I would never bring anything so ridiculous. I'm just perfectly fine with going to the buffet or getting a cup of water there. Or, fun fact, it is actually like the theme parks. If you need a glass of ice water, you can get that from any open bar, and it is complimentary. So just keep that in mind. I don't really see a lot of people asking for that, but it is definitely possible. I've only ever asked for it. Well, let's see. No, that's not true. I do regularly ask for it if I'm getting a drink, but I don't really see a lot of people just asking for a glass of ice water. The question is, all right, everybody, go down and subscribe, and if you only ask for a glass of ice water, would you leave a tip? Yeah, I don't. I have not, by the way. I will freely admit that, but let me know. If you ask for a glass of ice water, would you leave a tip? All right, so if you do need to carry water around, this is what I bring one of these with me, and I use this to mix, the powder, the hydration powder. These are from IKEA. There's 2 different sizes. This is a small one. This is like $1.99, and that works great if I don't have a drink package. If I do, I just put it in the bottle, and that's fine. So there you go. I did, believe it or not, do some research. I know. Everybody, calm down. No intervention necessary. And if you do need to bring, or if you do feel like you want to bring water on board, yes, there is actually one case where I think that would be useful, or actually you kind of need to, and that's with sparkling water. Okay, sparkling water at the bars, probably not complimentary, although I've actually never asked for just soda water. And actually, that's a really great question. If you have asked for sparkling water or soda water at the bar, did they give it to you? Did they charge for it? Is it free? I don't know. It's an interesting question for me because some of the theme parks actually do have like soda buttons on some of the dispensers, and I am one of the people who find soda water more refreshing than regular water. Apparently, this is one of those things that's just split randomly between people. Some people prefer still water. Some people prefer sparkling water. I like sparkling, so if I can find the soda tap, and it's not that common, I will definitely go back to that machine and get the soda water at the parks. But if you do want to bring soda water on board, yeah, you do have to bring that with you. When I did sail on Carnival Liberty, those are coming up eventually. I brought a 12-pack of LaCroix, And that was a great idea. I finally understand why people do this. The only thing is, it's heavy. It's very heavy. No, it's not very heavy, but you do have to carry it with you at embarkation. So, yes, if you do want sparkling water, definitely bring some of that. But if you want still water, I don't know, save yourself the trouble of carrying something and just drink the water on the ship. But if you are interested, the cruise lines, they have it's all over the place, and whether or not they allow you to bring water. So of the big cruise lines, Carnival, Royal, and Holland America let you bring 12 cans of whatever. By the way, right now we're talking about sparkling water, so they let you bring 12 cans of water or soda or whatever. Princess says a small quantity, whatever that means. Although I imagine 12 cans is probably a small quantity. However, NCL, MSC, and Margaritaville, no, nothing. They don't let you bring anything, nothing. So keep that in mind. Not even no water, no juice, nothing at all. Okay. Virgin apparently doesn't let you bring anything. I could not find anything on their website, and all of the blogs and everything, they're not very specific. However, Virgin at least encourages you to bring a container because they have water refill stations, theoretically all around the ship. I don't really know what that means. I don't remember seeing them, but that's their whole shtick. The most generous, I think a lot of you probably know this, is Disney. They either let you bring 12 or an unlimited number, although they're not going to let you bring the pallet, but of maximum 17-ounce size containers of whatever, including water. And as a side note, Disney also lets you bring 2 bottles of wine at every port. So keep that in mind. So yeah, they're all different. Definitely, if you want to bring your sparkling water, go and research the cruise line and, take advantage of that. And one reason people do want to bring water is because, going ashore, but you could just take your container with you. And that might be probably one of the only reasons you might want to bring a couple of bottles with you. And if you do, you can just go ahead and reuse them when going ashore. I personally would do that simply because I don't really trust the water in most places. I know. I'm old school. I remember traveling to Central and South America as a kid, and Montezuma's Revenge was the constant threat. So I guess that kind of stuck with me. But yeah, if you do take a couple of bottles or your refillable, your giant Stanley cup or one of these bottles, you might want to take them ashore. Just keep that in mind. But I also thought this would be a good opportunity to remind people how important it is to drink water on a cruise ship. Yes, on the cruise ship, filled with, as much as you care to eat and drink, depending on what package you have. Do not forget to stay hydrated. And this is very important because I have noticed sometimes I get dehydrated. Maybe because I'm just running around, it's hot, I'm busy doing other stuff, going to do things and, making the videos and everything like that, that I sometimes forget to actually drink, especially if it's on embarkation day and I'm, having a couple of cocktails. I will notice the symptoms of dehydration, and too many times I have ignored them for longer than I should. It's easy to recover, but yes, I have been naughty. So I don't want you to be. So remember, it is very easy to get dehydrated on a cruise ship because you are often out in the sun or in air conditioning, which is dehydrate in itself if you are drinking a lot of liquor or just, running around. But if you do feel the symptoms, and it's not just being thirsty. Some people will say, just wait until you're thirsty. That's your body's indication that you are dehydrated. Not exactly. And for some people, that's really not the case. So if you ever feel that sort of dryness in your mouth, you need to have a drink. If your lips start to get dry, this is something that I noticed very quickly, then you need to have a drink. If you start to feel fatigued for no other reason, it's probably that you don't just need caffeine. You are probably dehydrated. So if you start to feel faint, or if you start forgetting things, or even worst case scenario, you get dizzy or have a headache, that is definitely a sign of dehydration. So go and start to sip some water. You can read a bunch of, there's different recommendations for how to rehydrate yourself. Some people don't say don't just chug a lot of water, just drink it at a normal pace, and your body will take care of it. But just be very, very cognizant of what your body is telling you, and yeah, stay hydrated. An easy way to do it, especially if you have a drink package, I think I said this in the last video. When you order that cocktail, just ask for a glass of water, right? And if you do that, you don't have to worry about the tip, because if you tip them for the cocktail, then you're not going to double tip them for the water. So there's an easy out that you get 2 drinks for a 1 tip. And yeah, so that's an easy way to do it. And if you're worried about drinking too much or feeling full, because this has happened to me on the cruise ship, I guarantee that will only last a few minutes. Seriously. I've done this before. Chug the water and you're like, oh, you feel satisfied. Just start walking with a drink, and like 5 minutes later, you're ready to enjoy that drink. So it's a very, very easy way to do it. So definitely, definitely do that when you're ordering drinks. And finally, let's talk about the rehydration powders that you get. There's 3 that I have tried. I've tried Liquid IV, Hydromate, and Drip Drop. They're all available from Amazon. I do not have a store, so I'm not going to push any particular one. However, I will say that the OG is best. The Liquid IV, it just works better. The other 2, they're just different formulations of the primary ingredients, which is usually just salt, sugar, magnesium, and a few other things, the electrolytes. Gatorade, oddly enough, doesn't really work that well for me. I remember some Carnival sailing, it's included in Cheers, so I would just drink Gatorade, and I don't know, didn't really seem to do much. But the Liquid IV works best for me, but you might as well try all 3. It is the most expensive, which, I don't know, maybe that tells you something. And I know I've mentioned this before. They're not super formulas. They all the marketing material on the package, molecular breakthrough or whatever. No, they're not at all. That formula has been known for decades to promote hydration. So it's really nothing new, and it's perfectly safe. So just go ahead and try the 3 or whichever ones and figure out which one is best for you. I will actually use this during the day. I will actually mix one in this through the day, and I will just drink some as when I come back to my stateroom, and usually pretty good. And then one in the evening, and I am good to go. So I will say they work for me, right? I guess that's how you have to say it. They work for me. If they work for you, awesome. If they don't, well, fine. Maybe you can find your own alternative, such as not drinking. I'm finding that works very, very well of late. So keep that in mind. Well, anyway, all right. So, we've talked about rehydration mixes. We've talked about the signs of dehydration. We've talked about the cruise line water policy, the major cruise line water policy. We've talked about bottles. We've talked about the one case where I would take water, and that's just to have sparkling water on board if I don't have a package. And most important, again, to reiterate, we've talked about the fact that all of the water that you get from the taps on the cruise ship is perfectly safe to drink. It is 100% perfectly safe to drink. And if you're buying bottles of water and then getting ice to put in there, why did you buy the water? It's the same water that they use to cook. It's the same water they use for ice. It's the same water they use in the bars. It's the same water they use in the juice and tea machine up in the buffet. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Just take your bottle, or take a couple of those. You can take as many of these empty as you want. And that's it. So water on the cruise ship. Yeah, perfectly safe to drink. Just not from the toilet or the swimming pool. I know, God, 83 million votes. But all right, so let me know. Do you take sparkling water on your cruise? I don't know. I probably will next time, if I don't have a package, of course. And if you do take sparkling water, LaCroix has a very, very delicious key lime flavor. Yeah, they really do. So yeah, well, you know what? If you do go to the bar to try and get just a glass of ice water, oh, you know what? I forgot something. Yeah, and I don't have it with me, but those water flavoring little things. Take a couple of those. I actually saw a guest use those a couple years ago. Little water flavors, the Mio packets or whatever, the little bottles, whatever, you just squeeze in there. That's definitely something you could take for your water. So anyway, yeah, I forgot. I know, but you know what I'm talking about. So if you're getting a glass of water from the bar and you're going to squeeze some Mio into it, maybe I'll be doing the same thing, and I'll see you on board.